Alright. Hello, this is Scott Carpenter, and welcome to another edition of the Sasquatch Awareness Project. Tonight, as promised, I'm going to do part 2 of Surrounded by Sasquatch. Entering the Danger Zone is the title, and it really was, and it still is. You'll see here in a minute. I'm going to kind of skip around. I've got the entire that whole day at 7/20/2013. When I do my research, I film in, film out, one right after the other. So if there's anything miraculous or major happens, I've got timestamps. Nobody can accuse me of like stopping a video, waiting 30 minutes and starting. You'll actually be able to see where this one started, and this and seconds later this one stopped and this one started. And so this is extremely thick place. This was in 2013. I stopped officially researching in about 2015, and this was like the beginning of me. I already knew what they were. They were human hybrids, and I knew that they were spiritually linked and Nephilim, but I was still kind of pushing the envelope, still doing the research, still had a feeding station, had some trail cameras out, trying to get them to do something stupid to the trail camera. And this location was almost a mile off the trail, and you'll see it's a mess. There was a windstorm that came through probably 6 months before this and blew a bunch of trees down, so it is a jungle to get in there. I have to cross a small swamp, and it does open up where the feeding station is. There's actually there's a couple of home places back there where there were fields. It's all grown up now with trees, but at one time there were actually, cornfields and stuff back in this area. And so, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scrape through pretty fast. I'm going to do, getting into the area so you can see, and then a couple little bonus things, and then the next part will be leaving, and then the final part will be detailed analysis of the video and the things that were captured on video and what was going on back there. But they were watching me from the get-go, as usual, and for whatever reason on this day, more than normal, they wanted me out. They wanted me gone. I was mad. They just did not want me in there, and they scared the living daylights out of me. I mean, I'll show you. Probably won't be on this one. I might even show it. As I'm leaving, I mean, it was like in the middle, like the woods opened up. The woods are really thick, and then they open up. So when I was on my way out in the open woods, everything was cool. But when it got down into the jungle part, and they were doing their thing, making sure it's still recording, and they started, again, first they invited me to leave with the stick breaks and the stomps and the vocalizations, and then once I left, when the woods were open, it was pretty quiet, no pressure. And then when I got back in the jungle area, actually close to the main trail, they started again, because the visibility is zero, literally, and some of the foliage is waist high and chest high. I mean, they just reach out and grab me and I'm gone. And so they started, and so I mean, they really got to me there. I mean, I could hear people walking on the main trail, and they were still after me, as far as just pushing. And you'll see in the video, I captured 2 of them. Both captures are decent. One's really good, actually, and one's decent. And I just discovered these. That I had a mental block on this. I mean, I did. The enhancement and everything around the feeding station and with the Sasquatch and the ET things, but I just never did have watched really the full video in and out, and I'm now going back and doing that, and and I can see why. It was like I said, I guess keep chasing rabbits, but literally I could see the trail, and I am so terrified and being pushed, and probably I'm just probably racked by infrasound, with the fight or flight, and I fall. I trip over and fall down, And when I get up, the camera, I kind of twist the camera and it shoots back up at my face for just a second. And the look on my face, I mean, that even scared me to look at you. I mean, I was terrified. I mean, I was just, I was just scared to death. I was afraid, I really was afraid they were going to get me before I could get to the main trail. They were coming after me. The pressure, the footfalls, the noise, I mean, they were, and when the video, basically they were right behind me. I mean, 30, 40 feet right behind me. Sometimes, they were right there. And so let's get started. In fact, on my way in, now I'm just going to do this disclaimer. I'm not claiming anything. I'm going to show you as a Sasquatch. I mean, I think it's a Sasquatch, but it's not proof of anything. Nothing. So don't watch this. Don't send me no emails. And it's blah, 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 blah. Don't really care. This is not why it's fun. And yeah, I'm going to show you what I think is a Sasquatch. It's more about the atmosphere, what's happening here, and what's going on, because many can relate, and hopefully this will open people's eyes that are researching or thinking about researching what can happen, and kind of show you, we're all, none of us are 10 foot tall and bulletproof, and we all get scared, and and I think I was armed, but I never thought about drawing it. Now you'll see a couple times I went ahead and got the bear spray out. I figured that may be more effective than shooting at them, because if you can hit them, if they're, you can hit them in the face and nose, that's pretty powerful stuff. They'd have to be, but never never known of a Sasquatch being hit in the face with pepper spray, so we don't know. They may just sneeze and blow it off, but, I know bears can't, I know it can put a bear out if enough of it squirted it down the sinuses. So anyway, so let's get started here. Like I said, I'm going to skip around. There's a couple little highlights, and try to keep this around 30-45 minutes. Keep it, not this could get several hours. We don't want to do that. And so I've got it kind of turned down here, and you'll hear, I mean, I didn't do the back trail camera because it's so thick and so tough that it would just, really, I'm really pushing through the brush. So I just have the camera on the monopod, and I'm just filming behind me and sometimes to the sides, just all around me. But it would have tore off my back trail cam. It's that thick. So here I start off the trail, and I'm getting off the main trail here, and I'll speed it up. So I'm getting down, get ready to head in to just easing through here, and right now it's open woods. I'm getting ready to hit the swampy area. Try to find that where the lookout's at. And so you can see here now I'm having to push in. It's a really thick and swamp. It's a swampy area. It's a swamp. I'm literally sinking. So I'm going along the edge and the side of it. See, these thick laurels, and that Sasquatch could be in there and never see it. The bear could be in there. Of course, hopefully I'm making enough noise. This is July, and it's hot. This is one of those days where it's 100% humidity and it's hot. Yeah, I know there's probably going to be dark spots in the back, and people are going, stop, be time for that later. So I get in here, trying to, right here, I believe, is where it looks awful suspicious. Here, let me get in here. So, went through the swamp. Actually in the woods, thank goodness. And this is right here. This is the area that I'm walking through. It's where I had my trail camera set up in 2010-11, and this is where I got the hair samples for the DNA study. This is where I got all kinds of still captures or captures on trail cameras where the one was licking the trail camera. A lot of activity. This is where I got this the Sasquatch and the laurels. So This is where I got that footage. So, there, it's right in there. So I think there's one right in here. I think to look at, cause something, yeah, there he is. See that thing there? See the dome? And I'm not got it queued up where I can slow it down and all that good stuff. If you watch, sure does look like it moves. But it's right in there. Sure did look like, see, it was up. So it's right, I think there's one right in there watching me. Not 100% sure. Of course, you can see here, when I get the heebie-jeebies, I always stop and get real quiet and look and listen. So you can tell when stuff's going on. Is that a bear? Right there. We're going to get rabbit trelly. It's either a bear or one crawling on its belly. See this thing right there? See how it stretches out? Anyway. Now it's gone. So I just want to give you an idea how thick it is. Now, like I said, I'm getting ready and getting to a part where there's all these blowdowns, these old hemlocks and pine trees are all down at the blight. They're falling. And like I said, the healthy trees got blown over by a straight wind storm. You can see here all these old trees have fallen. See, look at it. See, I'm just pausing, just looking around, look at all this stuff I got to step over. There is no being quiet going in here, okay? No being quiet whatsoever. And I'm getting close to where the footage was for the Sasquatch and the Laurels. I'm just going to skip through here. This is on, like I said, this is going into the danger zone. I'm already apprehensive. I'm on a Sasquatch trail, just to let you know. I actually had hair traps on this trail. Sometimes I actually found it if I took a limb beside the trail and snapped the limb where it would splinter and splinter out. That they would, as they walked by and brushed the limb would catch hairs and pull hairs out. I found hairs that way, and then I started doing that. And I actually got some hairs there, a couple of hairs, a batch of hairs in the study from that situation. Just take it and break it off pretty high. I don't break it off where a bear could do it. I break it off about chest high, so it's going to be, that's going to be 4.5, 5 feet. So I'm just going to kind of speed through here. Kind of reviewed this last night. Got freaked out when I was reviewing it last night. And there's just all kinds of like creepy stuff that it's mostly nothing, but so here I get kind of just taking it easy, stopping. You can see some of the bigger trees blowed over here. There's a healthy tree that was blown over. A root ball. So we're getting close to where there was a big tree that had fallen. You can see here this big top of this tree. And all the trees now that are fallen. Keep going here. Oops, I hit my camera. Okay, so this is the area where I filmed. This is the laurel thicket part of it that the Sasquatch was in when I filmed that Sasquatch watching me urinate. It's pretty good. It's probably one of my best footages. And so this is that area, all right in here. That's why I'm stopping and looking. You can see trees down in it. So I'm just kind of filming that real quick. I've got a long way to go to get in there. You can see what I got to go through, all these trees down now. It's a little better now. Some of this is rotted down, but it's still pretty bad. Pretty bad straight line winds. You see these big root balls and stuff. It's just a jungle. So let's scrape through here. I'm just trying to get back in there. It's going to take me a while. So I'm just kind of go scrape through all of them. You can see I do about 5 to 10 minutes when I'm doing a clip. I try to point the camera in the direction I'm not looking on purpose. See here, it's pretty. I'm stopping and listening. Weird looking thing right in there. Right there. It's probably nothing. Like I said, a lot of shadows in here, a lot of noises. There's that big tree, root ball, tree that got blown over. That straight line winds blew that things over. So I've got to go across this small creek and out. I'm following this creek back into the feeding station. And I'm turning around and looking. This was the area here, part of the area where the Sasquatch was. So what I'm saying there in Cherokee, this is what I used to do. In Cherokee, I'm saying, hello, I am a friend. And I would do the, I also do the sign language. So I'm speaking to him. You know, back then I'm trying everything and anything. I should have just spoke to him in English, but I'm thinking maybe speaking in Cherokee, a language they can speak and used to hearing. I'm a friend. Hate means I'm a friend. I'm trying to tell him, you know, there's a stream right there. That's where I peed in the water. And the Sasquatch was hiding in this thicket over here, right in here. How thick it is. All I can do to get through there. Yeah, and I wish one would just get up and run back to me. That would be easy. We can just call it quits. Oh, there it is. A live video. So I'm just going to go here and I'm making my way back. And I'm starting to this is the jungle part. We're getting close to where Dave Pilates saw his Sasquatch. And I'll stop and show you where that is. We can get there. We're almost there. I'm almost there. He was on this side of the stream looking over here. This is it right here. So David was here where I'm standing, and in this thicket here was a Sasquatch, and it was just sitting there staring. It was squatted. It was staring at him right in here. that's the place. That's why I'm stopped. This is also the place I took Les Stroud, and where what had happened is I was still working in this feeding station, leaving the apples and stuff and rocks and doing that silliness, and I had taken a cross and made a cross. I used some electrician's tape and made a Christian cross, and there was a stump, a broken stump. You'll see it here, and I stuck my the cross down in that stump. Well, when I go back the next time, the cross is pulled out of the stump. I mean, it's like the stump's at, you know, six and a half, you know, trees broke off, so I stick it down into the stump. It's secure. It's taken out, pulled apart, and thrown down. That was kind of a message, I think, to me that hey guys, you know, we don't like this spiritual Christian stuff. So it's getting ready to get really gnarly. How we doing on time? 21 minutes. So really gnarly. Just look at that, how thick this is. And they can grab me, I mean, anything. Thank goodness no snakes. No rattlesnakes, no copperheads. I'm just picking my way through, because about every time I go in there, new trees fall. There used to be it used to be nice and open with a really hard packed game trail through here. Like I said, the Sasquatch were using it. The wild game was using it, but unfortunately, weather and things change. So I'm still going through, just working my way back. I'm up on the hillside trying to stay out of this creek bottom, give myself some space between this heavy foliage. Easier walking, and I can hopefully see something coming, whether it's two-legged or four-legged. You can see it's slow going. Still is slow going. I haven't been back in there. I think me and Dave Pilates went back in there 3 years ago, and he wanted to see the place where he had seen the Sasquatch, and
Hiya.
so I'm calling out from some because I'm feeling some serious pressure right now.
Hello? Me? Hello? Hello there. Adina.
Now, I'm imitating the Alote and Adina, or that may have been what made them mad. That is from a recording on the Sales Rants in Texas. There's vocalizations of Sasquatch that lived on a farm down there, and that's what they recorded, them saying Alote and Adina. No one knows what this means. People say it's not Cheyenne, it's not Hebrew, it's not anything. No one knows, and so that may have been what made them mad. But they're already agitated, and I'm feeling pressure.
Hello? Just heard a vocalization of some sort.
So see, I just heard that vocalization. I probably
Just heard a vocalization of some sort.
They did a lot of mumbling this day. Like, when I mean mumbling, it's like a group of people are together. They're so it's like you got a group of 3 or 4 people together talking. You can tell people are talking, but you can't understand what they're saying. I heard a lot of that. So I keep hitting at the camera. So let's see here. Still working my way back in. I'm going to take down some trail cameras. I'll let that play here in a minute. I'm walking on a hillside, literally. And there's a game trails down there. Like I said, in the creek bottom, but I'm not going down there. I'm staying out of the creek bottom. It feels safer up on this hillside, right? Got a little bit higher. Of course, going through all this stuff's crazy. Something. Saw something right there. See that? That could be. That could be. Or it could be a leaf. It's not a leaf. There it is. I need to do a deep dive, but it's just so hard. And this is not replayable. I mean, I don't have this in my editor because hang on, we're gonna chase a rabbit. Show you how I chase rabbits. So there's the still capture. There's this thing right here. You tell me. You tell me. Just do a quick photo, sharpen. Who knows? I mean, see how black and dark it is compared to everything else? It just kind of like, it sticks up like a sore thumb. And it's not like back in the shadows. And it's doing exactly what they do. It's not looking straight at me. If that's the nose, and that's the cheeks, and that's the brow ridge right there, and that's the head, he's side-eyeing me. What that means is he's looking this way, I'm that way. He's not looking directly at me. He's looking side-eyeing me. That's so I don't get the fight or flight right now. He's just following and watching. If this is a Sasquatch, I'm about 75%. Probably yes. If I had time to do the old slow down and put it, I could, that's the problem with review. When you see stuff like this and you're actually doing serious review, you got to stop, you got to do the full analysis, and you got to determine, is this a Squatch or is it not? You got to look for, does it move? Does it maintain its integrity if the camera moves and you get farther away? So, make sure it's not pareidolia, etc. So there's a lot that goes into just the legwork of review, and I'm just kind of skimming through it now, and but you can see, and just there's been 3 or 4 possibles already, and this was during the period in 2013-14 were high periods of activity as far as interaction with me and the Sasquatch, very high. That's one of the reasons they scared me to death, because if this is one, then you can see they're following me and they're all around me. They're that's why I was hollering at them and trying to say hi, because I'm hearing them and I know they're there. It's just more than, sometimes it's the pressure. There was a physical presence. I mean, They were making, sometimes they'd let me know. I'm just being honest. Sometimes they would let me know. And so that's exactly what they were doing. I'm going to stop and start this real quick and break this up. Okay, so I needed to break that up real quick. So we're still going here. Let's check, make sure we're still recording. We're at 30 minutes. Everybody's, so I don't have a way to, so, you know, for now, we've just got to move on, but that'll be some stuff I can go back for a deeper dive later. So I'm getting close to the first camera. I'm up on the hill. Definitely know. My gut, I know I'm being followed. I'm listening and watching.
Sort of vocalization.
See, start another one. Turn it up a bit. Probably not going to be able to hear it.
Sort of vocalization.
See, I was starting to stop it when I hear vocalization, so I know. I thought I heard a hum like
Sort of vocalization. Sort of vocalization.
So we're getting close here.
Osio. Elote. Wucha.
Now, it wasn't uncommon for me to do this back then. All English. I learned enough Cherokee. Or if I hear vocalization, someone recorded it, solid vocalization, sometimes I'll use those phrases, just trying to elicit a response. And I got one. Trail cameras. So let's go ahead and let that play real quick. So yeah, this kind of explains why I'm back here.
All right. That's a walk. Humidity is 100%. It's started a little shell. I'm going to have to put a plastic bag over my camera. But right there's my first cam. You see it right up there? That's a plot watcher. She's been watching this valley. She ran out of film. So I'm going to pull that one down and then move on to the next one, which is over in that location over there. But I'm going to have to, until the shower passes, I'm going to have to cover the camera with a plastic bag. So I'm going to put me a step in and get up there on this tree and get that camera down. And I'll update you here in a minute.
So I usually put my cameras up at least 9 to 10 feet off the ground. Sometimes I had to use a step.
Okay, it's starting to rain harder. Got my first camera. I'm going to get camera number 2. She's right there. And she's been watching this here. So, before my camera gets wet, I'm going to sign off again, cover her back with plastic.
I got the bear spray out.
That's camera number 2.
That's camera number 2. Be back in a minute.
See, there's I've got it in my hand. So.
This is Scott Carpenter.
All right, this is Scott Carpenter. I made it all the way back into the search area here in the National Park. Had a little rain shower, so I wasn't able to film the collection of my last 2 cameras. But I got them. One of them was down in that direction, watching the trail come out of the laurel thicket. And one of them was over there watching
Now this
up
is
the hall.
before the sighting of the Sasquatch with the alien. This is before all that I showed you in the introduction. This is the clip before that. I'm up at the feeding station area itself. It's up across a little creek, and it's up on a little point. There's 2 creeks come together. This whole area, bottom area, was open, and there was a couple of 3 houses in here, and so, like I said, there's fieldstone stacked up, and the old road bed goes through. Actually, the road bed's right below me, and then it goes into a really it's a small valley, but it's now choked with rhododendron.
I'm to the little area where I've tried to establish a feeding station. I want to show you a couple of things. I had balanced and stacked rocks right here, and they've been knocked over. And you can make the argument, more than likely, this tree that got either blown down or pushed down, and then snapped in the middle, then hit the rocks and toppled them. And I guess that's one interpretation. And I'll document this good. And then we'll compare the footage from last time, and we'll see what we got. But the white rocks have all been toppled. The thing about it is, I don't think that's the way the rocks were, and I don't see how that hitting the ground could move these rocks around like it did. And I've got company. I've had company now since the rain started. And they've been snapping sticks. I've had a couple of locals. Of course, now if the camera's on, they'll probably shut up until I turn the camera off. But they're close. They're real close. Best of my ability, I can tell there's at least 2. One of them's hiding right there in that area. And the other one's down in there somewhere.
That's where the sighting area was, where that gray alien thing was.
But there's that. Over here where I left the apples last time, because the apples were gone, I played sticks up here, and the sticks are gone. And then I'd lay these rocks out, and I'll have to check the arrangement of these rocks. I'm not sure exactly how I left these rocks.
That's the stump that I put the cross in later.
But
As tall as I am.
that's kind of the lay of the land here as it is on this return visit. I'm not going to stay in here much longer. It's kind of creeping me out, to be honest.
This tree stump I put the cross in.
It's just not a good feeling, so I'm going to trust my gut and shenanigans on out of here. I'm going to set these back up. Maybe rearrange these a different way. I'm thinking about it.
Plastic bag is in my hand because I had the plastic bag covering my camera.
Like I said, the sticks that were laying up here are gone. So you can't hear that on the video, but it's almost like I heard a psst, psst. I've heard it now several times, like, psst, look over here. It's frustrating. But I guess that's just the way that it goes. Alright. I'm going to do it that way this time. See if anything interesting happens. I'm going to ease out of here just a minute. I have to put the bag back over the camera. The foliage is wet. I don't want to run my camera. So I'm sure that as soon as I turn this camera off, all the shenanigans will start up again. So it's not a whole lot I can do.
You can see how that's all splintered, and right in there is where I stuck the cross.
About it. It is what it is. All right. I'm going to sign off for now. Head back out. Blue skies up there. So hopefully I won't get any more rain. But it's just like the rainforest conditions. Humidity's 100%. I took my rain jacket off. To be honest with you, if it starts raining again, there's no use having it on because I'm soaked to the bone with sweat, so it doesn't really matter. But I will sign back on here in a little bit.
So, that's a good place to stop, I think, because we get into the encounter. So you can see, as I'm going in, they're really, really getting on me. And like I said, there's vocalizations. I'm feeling pressure. They're really making their presence known on this day, right before the sighting. And as I promised you, I'm not going to leave you hanging here. So let's go here to on my way out. So at the very last video right before I make it out, I'm crossing this little swamp. I go out a little bit different than I come in, and I go across this little swamp, and at the end of the swamp there's one, and I got, I don't know, about 25-30 frames of it, maybe, well, more than that, but probably about 2 or 3 seconds. And then as I'm going, I have crossed this little marshy area. It's where the creek kind of floods, and it's goopy and muddy. And after I cross it, I'm like turning my back, and I'm filming behind me, of course, and the camera swings, and you can see one across the little marsh on the other side beside the creek, peering out from around the tree. And so, not to spoil it, but to spoil it a little bit, because I got more. There's more to show you. There's just real quick, there's all kinds of good stuff coming with that Sasquatch and all the different work I did on it and the alien. But so let's go to following out here. I had a little fun with it, did some sketches. But so I'm real jerky, so what I did is I got the best 5-6 still captures, because I'm jerking like this. I am panicked. I'm just going to be honest with you. So let's look at this. And so I don't know if you can see him or not, but I've crossed this area right here is that little marshy area. Over there is hardwood, the hardwoods again, and the creek, and right there is our little friend. You can see him peeking around the tree. See him there? There's his nose and his brow. There's his left shoulder. You can see parts of his body here behind this tree and all his bushes and little trees. What I found interesting is you can see his hair. See it? His hair's, he's got long hair and it's laying up on his, I actually see his hair laying on top of his head there. He's green because this is a digital camera. His face is probably light gray. But see, everything in here around him is green. And so the digital camera takes the mean average and it colors his face green. Got a little bit of gray there, but that's the camera. I can't help it. But you can see him pretty good there. So, and that's me circling it for you and showing you. I've got the camera cocked too, so it's not perfectly level. And there he is. There's the next one. These are, a couple frames apart because I'm jerking. So, for the pareidolia fools, you can see here the camera has moved. I have moved. The sun angle has moved. Yet this subject maintains his integrity. If it was shadows and leaves and there's no sun like now, actually the sun's gone behind clouds, so there's no sun to, quote, make shadows. So for the pareidolia fools, so here's probably the best one. You can see his eyeball right there. Again, you can see his left cheek, kind of got the old puffy cheek. You can see again, you can see his hair, laying like it should if you're leaned out. And his nose. You can see his shoulder there. You can see bits and pieces of him through the foliage. There's where I did the contrast and everything, so you can see it really good. You can really see his eye good there. You can see a little puffy place underneath the eye, the cheek and the nose, and the brow and his hair. Definitely see that. So there's another one where he's back there. It's a little different when you can't see the eye as well, but you can actually kind of see the eye over here better. You can see how it pixelates. This is 1080p, high def, but not. You can see his shoulder and see there. There's a close up. Contrast and brightness. A little bit of deblurring, a little bit of sharpening. Still see the hair. So this is, I'm level. This is actually, it goes backwards. This is the first, these first few frames are the first ones. So you can see here he's obviously moving, big time moving. See him there, here he's in a different angle, totally different. Of course it's hard to see him. You can see his head's caught, see his shoulder. He's kind of leaned over more. I think he's looking, doing the side-eye thing right here. But you can see the head, the right shoulder, the left shoulder. I don't think that's fingers. I thought maybe that was his fingers, but it's not. But you can see how much he, from this one, you can see he's more upright here and just peeking with one eye. And with this one, see, he's definitely down more and out more, because you can see, look how much more at the top of the head you can see. And the hair's not, see how consistent, the hair's not split anymore. Different angle. So here's another angle. Now this is the autofocus is really having a hard time. But when I zoom in, it's hard to think he moved. I think that's kind of a capture of him moving, and so it's kind of blurry. It's actually really blurry. But that's the auto. You can see there. There's another one. Just kind of showing you he was back there and he moving around. And that's it. So thought there's your little bonus. This is on my way out. This guy is right behind me. Right there's the best one. I mean, that's 30 feet at the most. He's right there. Go back. I did some enhancements. Don't send me no emails telling me I'm a faker and fraud and, you know, hoax. And I had a little fun with it, but you can really see the hair. That's what makes me is the hair on both of these. It's the fact that you can really see the hair. And it's falling as it should. But anyway, get back on it. So yeah, so let's see. Did that one, and that's where I did the thing where I took the face and split it. And made I had another one enhancement. I thought, is that not it? Nope. Give me a second to see if I can find the enhancement real quick. I played with it to try to get, no, that's the wrong drive. Find the right drive, Scott. So you can see here, I've got stuff I'm going to show you in slow motion and of other Sasquatch. Let's see. So there's, you can see there I'm playing with the sketch. Tried to upscale it, didn't come out too bad, but there we go. This is upscaled enhanced there. That's a good one. I upscaled it, and when I upscaled it, you can see here, see how the eye got brought out and more of the shoulder can be seen kind of through the foliage. And you can see he's at angles. You can see all the way up through there. But that's upscaling. That's upscaling. You can see the sun nostril. Here's another one. Now this one I enhanced. This one I took some liberties with the mouth area and darkened some stuff in. You can see it pretty good right there. But, you know, this area right here, I was going to cover it with my finger. This area right here had foliage in front of it. But the rest of it there, that's upscaling. You can see upscaling does pretty good. So there he is, peeking around the tree at you. Alright, I think I've kept you enough. Let's see how long I've kept you. Ooh, almost an hour. I just want to make this 45 minutes. So next I'll do, I've got a really good upscaled, enhanced version of my encounter with the Sasquatch and the gray, and we'll look at that, and then we'll look at my trip out, and then that'll be part 3, and then in part 4 we'll do a real deep dive into all the enhancements, and maybe by then I've had more time to go look it up and go back, and like those places where I thought I saw something interesting, I might be able to work on that and see if there's anything there, if it's just dark spots. So with that, I hope everybody found that interesting. This is what it's like to do research. This is it. This is the big exciting, you know, Sasquatch research thing. You know, you spend a couple hours in the woods. If you have 2 cameras going, that's 4 hours worth of video, 3 hours or 6 hours if you do 3 hours in the wood, and then it's this, and it's a lot of this, and and it's, most of the time, there's nothing. I mean, I've got hundreds and hundreds of hours of stuff, and you can see here, the different, I was going to show you, if it, like this is 2013-14 research. Look at all that. And I still haven't reviewed all that. I'm working on it, and when, especially, usually this is wintertime stuff, but, and, let's, going back, look at all, all these different dates, files I gotta go do, and that's 24 videos. So this is me actually going to the same place, setting everything up. This is the week. This is the third. This is the 13th. I'm back on the 20th. So this is a week before. Need to go back. This will. I think I'm definitely going to go back. This is where I set the X, and they tear the X and break. But there's only so much time in the day, guys. And like I said, there's our friend. These things are something else. They're human hybrids. In my opinion, they're a Nephilim. Buddy, when they want to scare you, they can truly scare you. I mean, they can really scare you. That's a really Cherokee Indian looking look. Look at that puffy cheeks. The ones around here have puffy cheeks. Look at that, how puffy that cheek is. That's Native American big time. Anyway, I better close it off, or I'll be up all night trying to get this rendered out to you. Guys, thank you. Y'all take care. God bless, and we'll talk to you soon.